All right, to avoid a shutdown in 10 days, how about another short-term spending measure to get us over the hump? If that sounds a little odd to you, that seems to be the latest thing they're kicking around on Capitol Hill because the issues apparently are too onerous to get a full 2-year extension to keep the government lights on that long. To Virginia Congressman Dave Brat on what we're looking at here. Congressman, thank you for taking the time.
You bet. Thanks, Neil.
So what are we looking at here? Yet another short-term measure, and how long would that short-term be?
Yeah, well, the good news is the House is working together, doing pretty good team ball. We voted for a CR and a CR with all Republican votes. That's a big new improvement. And the American people are rightly frustrated. They say, why can't you guys get it done? And the answer is the American people gave the Republicans the House and the Senate and the White House. But to pass a budget, you need 8 Democrat votes in the Senate. And so we're willing to compromise. We have compromise all over the place. But the Democrats want more than compromise. I mean, they want their agenda when we won both houses and the White House. And so the system is a little dysfunctional, and the Senate makes it very hard to pass stuff. So we're probably going to end up doing another CR into March. And then Paul Ryan, to his credit, has promised to deal with the DACA issue. But we have a very good bill coming out of Goodlatte, Labrador today in the House. McCall, and people can look at that. That's a pretty good framework, right? Ending chain migration, E-Verify, end the visa lottery, internal enforcement. That's been a big hang-up on the Democrat side, but a compromise is in play there. But the rough numbers on DACA are 800,000, right? And then you multiply it by chain, and you end up with about 3 million just due to DACA. And then last year, we allowed in 1.8 million, according to the latest CIS study, right? 1.8 million people came in legal and illegal. So that's 5 million people you're talking about when the unemployment rate sounds good, but it's only good because so many people have left the workforce. And so that's the part where the American people know something's still up, right? We need to get everybody back off of the welfare programs. There's poverty traps embedded in there, back in the workforce. And the DACA piece has to be handled appropriately. If you send a signal and a green light to the rest of the world, hey, 8 billion people that want to come in, the American people are always generous, come on in. That's a huge problem we're going to have down the line.
You would be open to address the DACA thing, as the president seems to have intimated, Congressman, even as a standalone issue before he gets onto some of the weightier elements in the budget. But would you be disappointed if he does something to appease Democrats on DACA without some of the other stringent things, either on a wall, something that is like a wall, something to address, these other issues like the immigration lottery system and all the rest? What if it's just something on DACA and then he goes back to this other stuff?
No, that would be absolutely devastating, right? Because
so
then
there would be no Republican votes, certainly conservative votes for that.
Well, no, and the president's promised he doesn't want to do that, right? He wants to end chain migration. It's a numbers problem, right? So you got 5 million people coming in. Chain helps settle and even the numbers problem, but then you still have the green light and the magnet of 8 billion people that want to come in. So
Democrats wouldn't sign on to something that at the same time, addresses the DACA stuff, doesn't address the chain migration or the lottery stuff, right?
Right. Well, that's what they're saying, but that's the deal, right? To get the numbers to be at parity, at least you got to have a deal. The Democrats just want their side when Republicans own the government. And so that's not going to fly. And the best way to lose the Republican Party this year is to not keep our promises. That was one of the biggest issues President Trump ran on. And even Bernie ran on the economic aspect, that the wage rates for the average person have been flat for 30 to 40 years, right? So that was a Bernie all the way through Trump. And the folks in the Midwest states, especially Michigan, Pennsylvania, they're looking for goodwill. So we're doing tax cuts. Welfare reform will help get people out of those poverty traps, bring them back in the workforce. That's good news. But importing 5 million new people to displace American workers, that's not a solution. Everybody knows it, and we will be devastated if we go down that road.
Is there going to be a shutdown?
No, I think we're going to do another CR. That'll put us probably into March. And we'll keep the trains running. But it is not good because we passed in the House all 12 approach bills, right? The Freedom Caucus went along with those, played good team ball. Leadership's been good on the CRs. But the Senate is the fundamental problem. And their amnesty bills over there, the Durbin and Lindsey Graham bill, is just horrendous, right? They want to trade $2 million for $50,000 and just end the visa lottery because it sounds neat, right? But that's not parity. You got $2 million increase and 50,000 fix. That's not a fix. That's devastating, terrible policy.
But as you said, the Senate is a different beast, and they have to pick up now 9 Democrats, right?
Yep. Well, we ought to make them run every 2 years. Maybe that would solve the problem.
Yeah. All right. Very good having you again. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.